Greetings and salutations, fine people. I'm Patti Alvarez. Welcome to The Good Soul, a show where we'll have supercharged chats with everyday humans from all walks of life and unpack what in their story will inspire us all. We'll extract the untapped wisdom, distill it, and serve it up to you in all the right ways that will engage, enlighten, and most of all, inspire growth within your soul. I think people are awesome. So join me on this journey through the hearts and minds of ordinary people to uncover the good soul within you. This is The Good Soul. Hi, everybody. Welcome to The Good Soul. We are on episode 36, titled True Crime Junkies. Say it again, baby.
Hello.
This is my beautiful, lovely, amazing, sometimes pain in the booty husband, Manny Alvarez. I was saying, I guess we'll see. The jury's still out on whether or not we're going to call you the co-host.
You're the lead dog, girl. You're the lead dog.
Still under review.
You're the lead dog. I just help you out.
So, true crime.
Every night.
This is the chant I get. I hop out of the tub.
When we watch it.
I hop out of the tub. I hop into bed and I say, true crime. So,
and what's the other one?
Starry Nights. I have a projector on our ceiling and I turn on the projector and I go,
that's Batty with all the energy. That's nice. True Batty. A lot of energy.
But wait, and the dogs look up at the ceiling. They do. Starry Nights.
They do. When it comes on, Murphy especially. Murphy goes into stairs.
I know. I'm sure there's a day in the life of Manny and I getting into bed, and I'm sure that our neighbors, because I make Manny leave the shades open.
I want them down in the worst way. Believe me, she likes them up, and you could see right in that house.
Well, we shut them when we need to. That's all I'm saying.
Hey now.
Shut them when we need to. So listen, guys. Have you binge watched a show on the Petersons? Have you buried your nose in books like Helter Skelter? Do you listen to Dirty John on your commute and end up not being able to get out of the car? Or like me, I sit in the garage and listen when I'm really into something.
Like, what the heck is she doing? Maybe she needs help. I go out there. You're in the just listening.
Totally. Well, anyway, lots of us have. People have a fascination with true crime stories, which begs the question, why are we drawn to stories of such horrible tragedies that can befall on any one of us? So today's episode, we're going to dive into the psychology behind this. I was inspired to talk about this because Sandy, my Sandy girl, who I adore, her daughter had sent her an article. Her daughter goes to LSU, but she texted her an article that was kind of questioning the sanity of people who watch true crime documentaries. And it got me thinking about one night so we went from our World War II obsession, right?
We go through our binges.
To our true crime. And when we started true crime obsession, one night he's like,
every night. I'm telling you, this is what she does. It's not a joke. Go ahead.
Well, but one night you're like lying in bed and you the covers are up and you kind of look over and you're like, should I be worried? Because I'm always wanting to watch true crime. But we're going to figure out why. We've had really some serious fun with this topic. It's interesting and intriguing. What I found one of the most important things I've learned in my research and preparing for the show is it's highly disproportionate, the female to male ratio, that there are a whole hell of a lot more women enjoy watching true crime documentaries than do men. Which
now the covers even go be more. What are you doing?
Watching, not performing.
All right. Just making sure if you're watching, they're thinking, and I'll play.
So I would say that I got my. When I think back in history, like we talked about reality TV, we talked about the real world, we talked about. I'm trying to think back in my life, like. I remember watching 60 Minutes with my parents, Dateline. Yeah. I never got into Law and Order. Whenever I sit down to a Law and Order or a Blue Bloods, I really do get into it. But I never really was committed to any of those shows. 6 Feet Under was probably one of the first horror type shows in my adult life that I really enjoyed. Well, also
Halloween coming up too.
Halloween's coming up. That's right. Wow, how appropriate this episode is for the month of October, Spooktober. So I think back on the horror movies that we watched, and I cannot believe our parents let us watch things like Friday the 13th and Halloween. Like, how horrible. Like, have you watched Friday the 13th or like any of those movies?
Yeah, no, Friday the 13th, 1, 2, 3, 9, 20, 30.
I'm talking now, though.
Oh, no, I don't watch them.
I
saw, I don't, me, I watch them. I'll watch it again, maybe. I like moving on newer and newer.
He likes everything new. Anytime I want to watch something old, he's like, "What do you want to watch? Those old,
the new, fresh, something you got plant your mind to."
No, I like watching old Fantasy Island. I like watching the Brady Bunch. But anyway,
back to true crime.
Back to true crime. So I think that my fascination really started with somebody I went to high school with. Her name in high school was Melanie Slate. Her name is now Melanie McGuire. And there was a podcast on her called Direct Appeal. And it's the first podcast I listened to. Melanie is known as the suitcase killer. And she allegedly had an affair. I think she admitted to the affair and was accused of murdering her husband, dismembering him and putting him in a suitcase and putting him in the Chesapeake Bay. We are from New Jersey. At the time, she lived in New Jersey. Now, I will say
higher and higher.
I will say this. I still say, and we'll get to Scott Peterson, I still say that case is definitely not beyond the shadow of a doubt, that there was no crime scene, no blood, no physical evidence linking her to his murder. And she still maintains her innocence.
It was all the questioning and stuff she went through that it just wasn't lining up all, and when things are not lining up with her, where to be, where were you, what'd you do? And it's just off here and there. And then it's kind of forgotten and something else was added. That's why she was, I think, more than all the evidence, like you said.
Well, it's kind of like,
again,
Scott
I don't
Peterson.
know. I'm just sitting in the audience here.
Well, think about Scott Peterson's case. And again, we could get into this later on, but think about Scott Peterson's case. As somebody said, the guy from Court TV said on the Scott Peterson documentary, you can look at it one way or you could look at it another way. Now, Scott Peterson has like a cult following of haters. If you talk to somebody who does not like Scott Peterson, they do not like Scott Peterson. They have filed him away as a cheating, lying murderer, and that's it. Fine. As Ben Affleck said in Gone Girl, just because I cheated on my wife doesn't make me a murderer. Yeah. Right. And I will say with Scott Peterson, I'm
sorry, sweetheart.
Specifically,
you don't do that. I just bust him on it.
Yes, there's a documentary that just came out on Peacock, which completely changed my opinion.
I understand.
And I more think he's innocent than I do think he's guilty.
I don't know about that.
Watch it if you haven't.
And you see him now too. He don't look.
Well, he lost a lot of weight. I know he was very cute when he was younger, even though people said he had like a bad, like he was kind of like angry looking. He was very cute. He was very, kind of appealing, but everybody was convinced he did.
He was an ugly man. That's for damn sure.
No, he's cute. Now he looks very different. He lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, and like I said, though, his demeanor, everything about him is kind of.
Well, let's put it this way.
If I was to look at him and say, yeah, but again, it's not about what you look like. It's not what it's evidence. I know what you're getting at. It's
very clear he has no glam squad. He's in prison. He's filming himself probably on an iPhone. He's close up. His face this is why you have to put powder on your face before you go on camera.
Should I put powder on my face?
No, you're perfect. You're an exception. You're an exception. So anyway, I would say, and the Peterson trial was a great example, the O.J. Simpson trial. So maybe
that's what I'm saying. No, O.J. is innocent again.
Oh God!
I don't agree with the verdict. That's damn true.
No, he's not innocent.
You know what I'm saying?
Of course, he's not innocent. That's
another side of the law that you got to go through too. Just because you know and who you know and what you know and the money you have.
Right. Well, what I'm trying to do is tie this into where we got our start. And I would say probably along with shows like Dateline Law and Order would be watching these trials in real time. My mother was riveted to the TV.
Now that's reality TV.
That's reality TV.
That's, you know what I'm saying? That's throwing something else in there we're talking about. Reality TV is court TV. It's real court.
Real court TV.
Not the one that Judge Judy, and so that's like a lot of.
Did you hear Joe in your ear? Because I just did. It's time to wrap it up.
Oh,
guys,
sorry.
segment 1 over and out. We'll catch up with you for segment 2. We're going to get into the reasons why we are true crime obsessed on The Good Soul.
Good, Tony.
This segment of The Good Soul is brought to you by Aaron Fisnick, certified luxury home specialist with Ivester Jackson Christie's International Real Estate. Aaron serves all levels of the greater Lake Norman region real estate market, and whether buying or selling, she is very much the lady who will deliver like no other. Many of us at Good Soul are also really happy clients. Aaron can be reached at 704-728-5657 or reach out to me and I'll get you guys connected. Thank you, Aaron Fisnick, and thank you guys for tuning in and supporting The Good Soul. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Good Soul. I'm your gracious host, Patti Alvarez, and this is my amazing husband, Manny.
Hello.
My counterpart, my sidekick, and my soulmate. We are talking true crime. True crime junkies, episode 36. So we were talking about, I was trying to figure out what got me started. Definitely, again, real time watching OJ, real time watching, what was the other one other than OJ? The big crime story.
There's a lot of them, but I off the top of my head, now you got me listening to you and intrigued here. I'm intrigued here.
Oh, and P.S., a little sidebar. Friends don't let friends take Z-Pack and drink espresso martinis.
Patti had a good time last night.
Oh my God, we had so much fun. We did, but I got really violently ill when we got home.
Local place, Shoals, which is going to be
Carolina Social Club. Carolina Social, that's right.
Give a look.
Yeah,
shout out there.
Andrew, the owner, was adorable.
Yeah, very nice man last night.
Who bought Shoals. What a great job he's doing there. Anyway, my mind is not operating at full capacity.
God, you're doing great, girl. You always do.
Thank you, sweetie. That's because you're here. Oh. So anyway, why are we true crime obsessed? Sandy's daughter got me thinking. She had sent an article to Sandy that basically said, Mom, you're psychotic for being interested in true crime. I did a little bit of research, and she's not at all totally wrong, but mostly, obviously, she's the article is a little, I think,
biased?
I don't know, not even biased, just it didn't jive with me well. So I found something that was a little bit more lighthearted and really more kind of realistic as to why we're true crime obsessed. I'm going to give you 6 reasons and we'll talk about them. Reason number 1, research. According to a study published in 2010, as I said earlier, women are bigger true crime fans than men. Yeah. One theory even is that even though statistically men are more prone to be victims of crime, right? So men are more prone to be victims of violent crimes, women feel much more vulnerable by nature. We feel more vulnerable to attack. So we're more inclined to gather intel on how to survive.
So that's where they're getting statistics from then kind of too. They branch over that, like you were just saying.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to see. We want to do our research because we want to make sure.
I love my research. I love it. I dig in.
You love your research. That's right. We like to be predictive. True crime allows us to play these scenarios out in our heads, in our minds, in kind of like a just-in-case way, so we can come up with ways to defend ourselves and do things differently than maybe the victim did. A lot of times people say, like, I would never date a psychotic guy who, all those red, like, how could somebody not have known her husband was a closet serial killer, right?
Gives your mind thought. And so you, like you said, to react. That's pretty good. I never thought about that. But people like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done. Yeah. I mean, who knows what you've done at the moment too? Because you got it split second.
Oh God,
things seem to slow down. Like I was in a car wreck, real bad. Everything seems like it slowed down when it happens, but it's only a split second to make that decision.
Yeah. It reminds me of the guy and I'm obviously very much for the Second Amendment, but there was a guy that was on, he's an Australian comedian talking about gun control. And he's like, a serial killer shows up at your house. You have your gun in your safe. You go over to the
go
safe.
Over there, punch the combination.
And you're like, wait, no. And he goes,
loaded.
Honey, what's your mother's birthday again? The home invader is just going to wait for you.
Yeah. I'll just hang out here where you get all that stuff.
Yeah, everything happens very quickly. You have to really learn how to act fast.
Have everything ready, prepared.
Yeah, absolutely. Have everything prepared.
Like in school, fire drills.
Totally. So reason number 2, it's oddly comforting. Some experts say the feeling of a relief that comes when you see something so awful, it's relief because you're like, oh, thank God that's never happened to me. Right? Thank God that's never happened.
A lot of those things you don't. And again, and then on the other outside of the stick, you don't think it ever happened to you, but all of a sudden, it's closer than what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? It can happen to you. Yeah. Anything can happen.
Well, look at Melanie McGuire. I mean, that's a great example. I mean, I knew her. We went to high school together. I wasn't close friends with her. I can't even say I was friends with her. I knew her. A friend of mine and I were talking about her recently, and we were like, does it surprise you if she did it? And the person I was talking to was like, not at all.
Oh, well, there you have it. You know what I'm saying?
She was like, she seemed like somebody who was capable of that. She was very smart, high achiever, in all like honors classes, a little aloof. As I said to her, it was Stacy. I said, every time I like walked by her, she like rolled her eyes like cheerleader, I know I have that complex, but anyway, it allows us this comfort level. It allows us to separate ourselves from the victim, or like I said earlier, I'd never be dumb enough to marry a man who moonlights as a serial killer and not know. But that's a slippery slope because we end up victim shaming people, which you can't do when we're saying like, oh, that would never be me. Like somebody gets raped.
That's what I'm saying. It can be you. Exactly. It's like, it can happen to you. It can be you, and things do happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had a family member take a hammer to their head, and he was murdered. Yeah. Yeah. He was married to my cousin, one of my favorite people. Yeah. Ooh. So he was a really cool guy. But so there's something called the just world theory. So this is going to add a little context. People have an innate need to see the world as orderly, where bad things happen to bad people and good things happen to good people. So seeing these episodes and looking at them, these stories, and
almost trying to say they go hand in hand.
Yeah, and it kind of allows us, it kind of reassures that, or it like really like confirms that theory in our head. It like checks boxes because you say like, again, Scott Peterson. So when I said to my sister, Scott Peterson, I think he might be innocent, she almost like blew a gasket. Because in her mind, she's saying,
already
no.
Guilty.
Yeah, he's guilty.
He's already guilty. That's it. It's done. Don't try to change my mind.
And she's not alone. Most people feel that way.
I'm leaning actually that way more because
he's guilty.
Because I understand what all the evidence, but going to fishing and arrow, all that stuff just didn't seem to add up to me.
I'm going to say this again. There was a burglary across the street.
I know that's what I'm saying.
The day she was murdered, Christmas Eve. There was a van
across the street.
The van was found burnt. The mattress was still blood saturated. They didn't test the DNA of the mattress.
That was crazy.
If I were Scott Peterson, I would be going crazy. I would be like, holy hell. It's the LA Innocence Project has taken him on as one of their clients.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. And they're pretty, I know. They don't strong outfit, very strong outfit. I know. I read about that.
And then the neighbors all saw her. After he was accounted for, after 10:15, there were 6 of her neighbors who saw her, identified what she was wearing.
I hear you.
One of them.
I'm not 100%, but 50-50, I'm at 51 years and 49 years.
Okay. And then let's take it a step further. No DNA testing on the mattress.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
The neighbors, the timing, and the jury is not privy to any of this information.
Yeah, they weren't privy to the robbers. None of that stuff.
None of them.
He actually, and I don't get that either. That should be like,
because they want to win. And this is what my sister was like. Well, those detectives want to just close. They are so overworked. So I'm not knocking the detectives. Yeah,
but you still got to knock them if that's the truth. If somebody's not doing their job correctly, you're throwing a man in jail for
life.
Rest of life. That they didn't do something again. But if I'm sitting in the jury and I'm listening to all that, and they didn't add all that stuff in, you're going to find them guilty.
Well, they're saying,
but now with all the evidence, like you said, and that's why I don't think he's as guilty as I thought he was.
They need to test the DNA on that mattress, and
they're never going to be able to.
What?
Did they get rid of the mattress? They got rid of it.
No, they still have it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, that's what he's fighting for right now. That's what the LA
no, I
Innocence
thought they
Project.
got rid of it. They didn't get the DNA. They got rid of all the evidence and stuff.
No.
Okay.
And where I feel bad for Melanie, the suitcase murderer, quote unquote, because she might not be, is there's nothing with that for her.
But you go back to the DNA with the blood. If they could test that should be done. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Period.
Just to erase that, just to get it out of everybody's mind. But, no conspiracy then. Nothing. So there's no blood on that. So you got to ex-nay that.
And what will people do if that is her DNA? Everybody has. Then
everybody changes. It goes from 49, and that all changes. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Percentages changes.
Okay. Reason number 3. Some stories make it harder than others to distance themselves from the victim. I think of the shooter who opened fire on a yoga studio in Florida 6 years ago, right? So you put yourself in their shoes. So every once in a while I'm in a hot room and I'm like, and the guy wasn't one of the students. He was like an ex of one of the students there. And I think like 3 to 5 people sadly lost their lives. But it was right when I bought the studio. And what I'm getting at here is you either can distance yourself from the perp or the victims, or you can identify with them. And you could say like, oh my God, I go running every day. And that girl went running on Thursday morning down Brawley School Road and got, nobody really did. I'm being hypothetical.
Yes.
And got kidnapped and murdered.
Putting yourself in that situation.
You put yourself and you're like, wow. And then from there, somehow we're relieved. We feel this sense of relief.
Not that it's me, man. I'm glad it wasn't me.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Really, yeah.
Yeah, we feel like we cheated death. We feel like it almost.
I'm usually doing that. I'm usually there, and like I said, anything can happen at any given time, any given Sunday.
So he will not. Can you just be optimistic? Nothing. He has to make sure he says that because he thinks he's cursing himself.
Okay.
Anytime like anything good's coming up, I don't want to curse it.
Just let it.
I don't want to curse it.
No. And then what happens? I'm happy.
The universe is listening.
Well, I'm not knocking it. I'm not fine. I just keep on going. And if it's good, then I'm happy.
Yes. So reason number 3, identifying with or not with the victim. Coming up, reasons number 4, 5, and 6. So don't go away. We'll see you for segment 2 on True Crime, The Good Soul. This segment of The Good Soul is brought to you by Aaron Fisnick, certified luxury home specialist with Ivester Jackson, Christie's International Real Estate. Aaron serves all levels of the greater Lake Norman area real estate market, and whether buying or selling, she is very much someone I want in my corner. Aaron prioritizes building strong client relationships based on trust and authenticity. Manny and I should know, having purchased our land through her. She can be reached at 704-728-5657 or reach out to me and I'll get you guys connected. Thank you, Aaron Fisnick, and thank you guys for tuning in and supporting The Good Soul. Oh, how we love that. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Manny and I just had a tiff. Between segments 2 and 3, he told me he's not going to talk. What did you just do? Oh my God. Manny is beyond not abusive.
Oh, yeah. And if anybody thinks they can take that home.
Don't make jokes.
Oh, I can joke all I want.
We'll end up in a true crime documentary.
He made a fist punch. Oh, gosh.
Watching Manny and I on Netflix. Anyway. All right, we're going through the reasons why we are true crime obsessed, and it's so much fun. And far be it for me to capitalize or get any sort of benefit from anybody who's suffered any form of violence, obviously have lost their life. I do not take any of this stuff lightly.
Like in society at all.
Yeah, no, we don't take any of this lightly. So I definitely don't mean to trivialize any victims, any family members of victims, any family members of perpetrators. So I just want to point that out. Reason number 4, baby. You ready?
I'm listening.
Are you going to talk?
I'm listening.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
Go.
I told him he's got to wait for me to finish talking.
Oh.
So he talks. Okay. All right. Curiosity. That's reason number 4. Human beings by nature are curious about other human beings, even if they aren't criminals. But if they are, we're really curious. We really want to know. So our brain seeks novelty. And a good example of this would be Mother Teresa and Princess Di. They died within the same I would say month. I'm not sure. We could fact check this, but I remember talking to my friend, and she was like, if Princess Diana gets more attention than Mother Teresa, I've lost my faith in humanity. And I said to her, Jody, Princess Diana died in a fatal car accident at the age of 34, 36 years old. She was a baby. I mean, she was in her 30s. She was, what was she? What is she? Princess Diana. Princess Wales. I can't remember. Anyway, regardless, whereas Mother Teresa lived a very full life. She lived to a very old age, and she died of natural causes, basically. So that's why. And this is, I think, also why we are so riveted and fascinated. Also, same thing, like with the World War II thing. I find when we were watching the World War II documentaries, how I was so learning so much about myself. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really, now you're not talking at all.
No, I'm waiting for you. I don't want you to keep on talking, so I don't want to interrupt.
Baby, throw me a bone.
I don't want to interrupt, so I can be quiet.
So tell me, how does that, do you feel like there's much more that you're learning about yourself and life through watching?
Again, it's not, it's just going through life, learning and watching what's going on and putting yourself in the positions. And when you're talking about movies and stuff like that, yeah, and the same thing when it comes to that. Why did that man kill him? What is in his mind? What is that guy thinking about? What is that woman thinking about? It's not just guys either. What's that woman? And what makes him do that? What makes him tick?
Yeah.
That's what Rachel liked to do. She wants to go into that, and what is it called? I forgot what they call when they go into
criminal psychology.
Criminal psychology. That's what Rachel wants. And that's, I can understand what Rachel's trying to think, why are they doing that? Can I help something? Maybe I could do something to help. You know how she always wants to help. But I'm saying, or people were like, just don't care about it if they want to help or not. You go, why, why in that situation? Anyway.
Well, we're going to get to that in reasons 5 and 6. And Rachel's a great example because Rachel is our middle daughter. She always was very fascinated with, OJ really got her attention.
She wants to know how they tick.
How do they tick? Yeah. And she also is trying to empathize with them, not in a way that is disrespectful, obviously, to the victims, but she almost sees it as an illness that they can't control.
That she wants to try to maybe help if she can.
Yeah.
She's always wants to help.
Sure, to help figure out.
She thinks the world's roses, everything's roses, everything's good. No, there's bad stuff out there. Oh, excuse me.
No, you did say.
I caught myself. Okay, go ahead.
You cut it off halfway. Well, I think I don't know that Rachel fully thinks that the world is roses, but
but
I think she's really fully understands. She's so self-aware that she feels as though she can impart that on people. This is why that was her chosen field, was psychology.
She got her master's in that. Good job. Good job.
Yeah.
Congrats, kid.
Yes, of
Jesse,
course. Yes.
And Molly. Okay. We got to do all that because I feel like if I leave one out, I got to throw them all in there.
So also people want to be like, this is why some people want to be pen pals, like the Menendez brothers. And,
that's another true crime.
Good looking boy. Yeah. We just watched Monsters. That was really good. But there's a element, now follow me on this because you may be freaked out. There's an element of power with these people, and which fascinates us. And also can be a turn on for some people.
The controlling part, that's what it is.
It's exactly right. So if you become a pen pal with somebody who's in jail, somehow when you identify with these people, you'll get kind of protection, in a sense, by worshiping somebody with all of that power. In other words, nobody. Well, this is.
I know. I don't mean to cut you off there, but it's again, that's putting yourself. Why is that person thinking like that? That guy's crazy. Why are you even, writing them in the first place? You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Well, it's kind of like talking about the weather. If you ever knew anybody who was molested, and we all know people, sadly, who've been molested, children, adults, it's unthinkable to a person who would never molest a child. It's like, and we all sit around like, oh, how about that weather? Like every day it rains. Yes, I know it's raining. Everybody that walks in the studio, I have to talk about the rain. I'm fine with it because I appreciate every soul that walks in the studio. But same thing, every time a bad story comes up,
through their thought process?
we're like, what were they thinking? Well, this is why Rachel. This is why people become psychologists to get into this.
Jesse and Molly. Molly's helping. Ray's trying to fix, and Jesse's trying to fix too.
Of course. So reason number 5, it gives you an outlet for negative emotions. So there's a Freudian theory called sublimation, where we, just as humans, have an aggressive drive. It's our animal instinct. We all have it, no matter what. Some more than others, especially men tend to have it, more. It's more aggressive in men than it is women. So we have to be careful what we do. So we're looking for an outlet for this aggressive drive. So we watch professional sports. We watch violent movies because it allows us to tap into our aggressive side without having to engage in the activities.
Being there and getting in the thick of it.
Yeah, well, your emotions, right? It goes back to that whole, the plane is crashing theory, when it's really not crashing, but you sit on the airplane. You really do identify anything I watch. No, go ahead, sweetie.
That's how people get that, anxiety. Oh my God, it's going to happen. It's crashing. The plane's moving.
Yeah.
So you start freaking out.
You literally, you think about watching, I remember Jessie when we were watching This Is Us. She ran out of the room crying so hard, and she's like, I can't watch it anymore. We really put ourselves in that position. The movie that stresses me out more than anything, where I really attach to their emotions, is the movie Fargo. As an entrepreneur, and anybody who's ever run a business, sometimes you have to rob Peter to pay Paul. You have to do all this shell game stuff, and you're taking chances and this and that, and all in hopes of keeping the lights on and the place running, right? And he just gets himself into such a deep hole, a rabbit hole.
Try to do the accent, but I can't do it.
Oh yeah. Frances McDormand. I mean, she when I played the cop, the pregnant cop. She really stole the show. But I always, whenever I watch that movie, I get so stressed out. I'm like, what if I ever found myself in that position? God, he got himself in such a hole. Same with Rachel. If she's watching a movie or she's watching a show, I'll look over at her. She is so emotionally invested. She's really.
When you go to movies with her, you can't talk. You can't say nothing. I'm always talking.
And you can't chew your popcorn either.
Oh my
that
God.
Misophonia gets you every time.
Right.
Oh God. Anyway, so it gives you an outlet for your negative emotions, and I really could relate to that with you specifically. God, sports.
Oh,
and,
my football. I love my football.
I always fall asleep before Manny does, and when I wake up, somebody's either getting murdered, getting their butt kicked, or something violent is happening.
Hey, I'm with you on that. Things got to be moving. I like the action.
Yeah.
But we got to wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap it up. That's right. Segment 3. Say it again.
Wrapping it up.
Wrapping it up, guys. Segment 3. On the 4th segment, we're going to get into reason number 6 and talk about the negatives, because there are some negatives. So don't go away, guys. One more segment to go, and we're having fun here on The Good Soul. Peace. True crime. Peace. True crime. This segment of The Good Soul is brought to you by Aaron Fisnick, certified luxury home specialist with Ivester Jackson, Christie's International Real Estate. Erin's not only an amazing agent, but she's also an amazing friend to me, with a diverse mix of happy Lake Norman clients, each with their very own unique circumstance and challenge. She's a one-of-a-kind boss lady who I endorse wholeheartedly. Erin can be reached at 704-728-5657, or reach out to me and I'll get you guys connected. Thank you, Aaron Fisnick, for adding your magic to all of your real estate transactions. And thank you guys for tuning into and supporting the show. We are eternally grateful. Mwah. Big kisses. Hi, guys. Welcome back. Episode 36, True Crime Junkies. We are true crime junkies, and I know we're not alone. It is definitely on the rise. Every time I turn on Netflix now, of course, I know the algorithms. They know what we like. But even in the top 10s, it's always true crime, true crime. It's good stuff. So reason number 6, we are on a quest for answers. Sometimes we know, but sometimes we don't. And the search for the answers throughout the duration of the show, right, is part of the excitement of it all.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Man, what maybe it's him.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's her now. Oh, it's him now. Oh, it's back to her.
Well, you even do that when we're watching movies. You have to.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to predict the end, right?
I think I'm a director or something.
Well, you're not alone. I mean, human beings we are natural problem solvers, and it's just a classic feature of the human brain. So, the more we can understand, again, the more we can avoid it happening to us, right?
Right on.
So, yes, we are on a quest for answers. Do you like knowing, or do you okay? So,
no, I never like knowing.
Like the Menendez brothers.
That's the whole thing about the anticipation of what is it going to turn out to be.
Yeah.
The guessing, like you said, is fun. It's fun. It makes it more interesting. It gets you more riveted into the movie itself.
Well, yeah, the Menendez brothers was a great example. Like, we knew what was going to happen. We knew the ending. I did learn some new stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's where you lead off. Like you just said, you know the ending, you know what's going on, but you know what? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting. Then you find yourself caught in the show, even though you know the outcome.
I didn't realize the extent. Yeah. Well, again, this is alleged. And what you said when we watched it, there's no way of knowing. For all we know, they weren't molested at all. There is zero proof that those boys were molested.
And I don't think they were. I think they're guilty. You say no?
They're
guilty. They admit they shot their parents.
They admit they shot them. But why would two young boys just shoot their parents?
Because they're old enough to get on a bus and take off and never be seen again if they wanted to.
But they had to stay around.
Why?
If money was the motive.
But the whole point being, if your life's okay, a guy's got a gun at you. If you walk out the door, you're free. If you stay, you're going to get shot. Okay, I'm going out the door. So if they were going to get shot and they're so afraid of their life, why the hell are you coming back to the house and shoot the people? Just take the car and go. Go to the police. Do something.
That's why I think they were molested.
Okay, but that's, again, it's not fine. You know what I'm saying. It's not fine. Oh, God, no, it's not fine. But I'm saying, okay, but if that's it, again, get the hell, get out of there. Don't sit there and come back with a gun and then go out to the car, get the shells again, come back and shoot the mother, make sure she's dead.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's no. No. Again, I'm sorry. I keep on cutting you off.
No, I just cut you off.
Go ahead.
Their father paralyzed them with fear. Okay, so we all have daddies, and all of our fathers. My father was a sweetheart, and never raised his voice to me, never laid a hand on me. However, when he was mad, he scared me, but he did the silent anger.
My dad did the silent anger, and you know what happened.
Yeah,
anyway, you know what I'm saying.
He was
but again, I didn't stay there. I had to do what I had to do. So again, I don't like their answers. So again, people got their opinions. This is my personal opinion. I think they're guilty. And
you think the Menendez brothers?
Yeah, because that's almost premeditated.
They admit they're guilty. You think they should stay in jail for life?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're fighting.
They were older kids. It's not like they were 15 or 14 or 12.
No, they were 18 and 19.
18, 19 years old. You literally not only shot them, you destroyed them because you want to make them look like a mafia. You're thinking this is premeditated because a mafia hit. So they shot up their kneecap. I mean, it was crazy. It was. They said the fathers. I don't want to go graphic down here, but you know what I'm saying. They, his head just went back and everything came out.
Sure.
It was, you don't do that to somebody. You don't go out to the car, get another bullet, load the gun.
No, there's no.
Come back in and look at your mom and.
Yeah, but baby, I'm going to say it again. They're not denying it. They admit to murdering them. The question is the severity of the sentence at this point, because what were we watching the other night where the guy that was not unsolved, where the guy was in prison. Remember, they had to wear the clear masks in prison.
Yeah, but
the guy was like, my whole life is ruined.
Yeah, but he, again, his story, again, if you listen to the the police officer's version, the cop's version, whatever, you listen to his story, the guy, not that being in a gang, you're automatically guilty, but he was in the triad, the gang. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So there was things that built up that them two were together.
He provided the weapon.
I don't think it should be in the letter.
Okay, here's the issue with that show. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was I'm a Murderer, actually. He did not take the plea deal. And he not only did he not pull the trigger,
that's what I don't
but the guy who pulled the trigger and murdered the guy took the plea deal. The other guy didn't take the plea deal and got life in prison. The guy who took the plea deal, he got 40 and then he got, I think, like 25 for something.
It's called 40 to life. The other guy got 20 to life. He got half his sentence.
The guy got half his sentence. The murderer, the guy who actually murdered. So
that's what I think is wrong.
It's like, again, it's. I don't think the guy.
But did you hear the judge when he, when he said this is why it's that, and he's, you had to put the parents and everybody through it again, the anguish of that, laid on the parents again to relive what happened to their child. So he's, he's adding all those things into there.
He provided the weapon.
And that's what
he didn't pull the trigger.
I understand that. But,
and when do you stop? When does the food chain stop? Are they going to sue the gun manufacturer?
No, I'm just saying that's why they did. Remember, that's what I'm saying. What the judge said. That's his reasoning of doing it. That was one of them. Which I understand. The parents are already heartbroken. My gosh, could you? I don't even want. I don't want to imagine.
Do you believe in the death penalty?
Premeditated murders, yeah. If you thought about it, you planned it out and you're going to kill, you're taking a chance of putting your life away too and losing your life too. That's me. I don't think the death penalty, if it's, in a fit of rage, because I can understand how people black out. Like when I boxed or fought, when I used to box, here goes the sheet.
Guys,
you know what I'm saying?
Joe, keep energy. Rolling that tape.
You go black. You're just gonna, you're defending yourself. That's all I'm saying. And sometimes you're just overreacting. So you overreact to the situation.
Okay, other than my sister Kelly, maybe when we were kids, I can't. I have, other than her, and that's even barely. I don't know what kind of memory she has. I have to ask. I've never in my life struck another human being. I've never had the desire to strike another human being. No, you're a whole other story. You're a whole other story. But I've never done. I have no desire. It's hard for me to watch tackle football because nonetheless, like a boxing match, the whole boxing match, I'm like it just does not make any sense.
When you're doing it, it's you're being challenged. You're challenging. It's, I could go real deep. It could take a long time.
Are you trying? So this is kind of in a way for you to empathize with a murderer. But you don't want to take someone out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like, even when I play hard as I do, when I did, play really, really hard and you give everything you got. I still hurt, like somebody got hurt, it happens, you hurt somebody because you hit them there, and I feel guilty as hell. I feel real guilty. I don't want nobody ever getting hurt. I hate when, and even my work, on the other team, you're your enemies at the time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to your rivals, whatever, and then you feel guilty. I don't want to hurt nobody. It's just that you're playing hard, you hurt them, and then you feel bad. Yeah. But if you hit them hard and they don't get up, you're like, okay, I stuck them good. I
wonder how much regret, I wonder what the percentages are of people who commit these acts, what their regret is, like how many, there's all kinds of statistics out for people who attempted suicide and
they want to do it again.
That at the last moment, I forget what the highest number said they regretted it. Right as it's about to happen, they were like, "No, I don't want to die."
And then they usually sometimes it's not done again. You know what I'm saying? If you
hopefully,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
hopefully,
yeah, good. Yeah.
So the negatives, 3, and we'll make them quick because I really want to get into some of our favorite shows. Negatives are it gives you anxiety. Obviously, you start to feel unsafe at home,
stressed. Yeah.
And the world becomes dangerous and you start getting kind of weary of other people. So there's that.
More protective. And you're not living your full life because you're always worrying about everything else.
Yeah. Who wants to live? I want to trust.
Yeah, you want to live.
So what are some of our favorites? So we talked about Monsters with the Menendez brothers.
Monsters, yes.
Into the Fire, that really cool woman, the blonde lady who gave her daughter up for adoption. And then she went to find her. She went missing.
And they had
it ended up. I don't want to spoil it, but that's a good one. Into the Fire.
Somebody's not around no longer. That's that story.
Yes. The Peterson, that goes without saying. I mean, if you have not watched, I think it's like In His Words, Scott Peterson on Peacock. Watch that show.
Is it Peacock?
It's on Peacock. Oh. Yes, it's exclusive on Peacock. The Murdoch Murders. That was a podcast, and that's a real.
That whole family's a little weird to me, though, man.
Yeah, well, and the podcast.
And again, don't make them guilty. I'm just saying, just a little, There's stories and things that happen in there.
Yeah, I think he's guilty.
Yeah, I don't.
But also, it's like there's no. I mean, it's
again my opinion, or your opinions. That's
Yeah. You have to start listening to podcasts more. I think you'd really enjoy them.
I do like Rogan's.
Yeah, definitely. And then podcast turned shows. Dirty John was great. The Dropout was great. Remember, so Dirty John was about.
I don't pick up. I know all the movies. Like I watch everything. But you always know the names.
Well, The Dropout was good.
That's
The Dropout was good. The Dropout was Elizabeth Holmes' story. The girl who came up with that fake testing and Walgreens, and she raised like over $1 billion from a lot.
And then knew it didn't work. That's when I don't like that. That's what I'm saying. Like a murderer, you know what's going on. They go to jail. You knew what you're going to do. Just like her, she knew what she was doing, and she kept on pushing it.
Yes,
that was crazy.
Inventing Anna, the Tiger King. I said the act Candy was great.
The Tiger King.
Oh, there's so many.
You could go on and on.
Yeah, we could go on forever. But listen, hopefully at the end of the day, all of these shows and these podcasts are making us better people. All we can do is learn from one another. And that's the most important purpose of why we're doing the show. Hopefully, in the meantime, whether we're talking about serious, hard topics or we're talking about lighthearted, fun topics, we're making them palatable and enjoyable for you guys. So
in our opinion,
thank you for tuning in. Yes, baby, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
were so well behaved for segment 3 and 4.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
I was only kidding. Who is that? Tony Montana.
Exactly.
I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I made it through hangover and all. I'm surviving. Oh, I got him an infinity bracelet. Yes. Okay, guys. So please come back and watch episode 37. And anything you haven't watched, go back and watch because we have a lot of good content. Subscribe, share, follow, comment, and just keep the good vibes and prayers coming our way because we want to take this thing big. So thanks for tuning in and supporting the show. We love you. Namaste. Peace out on the good soul.